Okay, this is simply, parang isipin niyo parang lapis at papel lang ang SketchUp. Okay? Yung ideas niyo sa inyo pa rin manggagaling. Okay, for the course objectives, upon the completion of the course, the student is expected to create 3D architectural models from 2D drawings or sketches, integrate use of various software programs into their design process to enhance workflow and creative visualization, and then prepare a computer-aided architectural perspective renderings, computer-aided walkthroughs, and animations for client presentation. So we'll just go over some university policies. So we will still be using a base 15 grading policy. Even if I gave you, let's say 74 or 73, okay, pagdating sa rubric ng inyong grades, okay, there's a great chance na in the actual, it will be reflected as passed pagdating sa grading sheet. Okay, so we try to uphold our academic integrity in this course. So these are the violations that are serious offenses like cheating, plagiarism, altering examinations, altering scores or grades, making false statements, fabricating results in research, and improper use of library resources. Okay, pagdating sa SketchUp, okay, nagiging creative din ang mga students from my past experience kung paano sila mandadaya. Sometimes they just download or share their models, okay, nakikita ko yan. Papalitan lang nila ng materials, okay. The first thing when I'm checking a SketchUp model is yung mga layers and tags, which we will be discussing later on, and how you organize yung model through the outliner. Okay, we will, sabihin ko lang itong mga terms na to, but I hope you have already have your own programs installed, no? We'll go to that into later. And then, for all of your exams, you need a valid examination permit. Okay, I think I have posted already all the yung mga posts kung saan kayo magsasubmit ng examination permits ninyo. Okay, I have a different method on conducting this class through via online method, no? Because sige. Right now, there are more than 100 students under this course, and I'm the only one teaching. Okay? If I give one plate, that's already 100 plates for me to check. Okay? So, and tinitingnan ko lahat kung paano kayo, sine-check ko lahat ng bawat model. Okay? Kahit, kaya ako matagal din mag-grade ng subject na to. Okay? I try to make sure na fair ako magbigay ng grades for everyone based on your skill level as well, kung ano man yung natututunan ninyo. Okay, for online class policies, everything has already been written under the orientation post. No? Always communicate your needs properly. Okay, communication is key. You just need to be respectful in addressing what you need from me. Okay, I'm always available Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. Pinabasa ko yung mga sinesend sa akin lahat even though hindi ako nagre-reply kaagad. Okay? Napabasa ko yan. But beyond 5 o'clock, binabasa ko pa rin yung mga messages ninyo. But I don't make an attempt to address them. Baka, for example, yung mag-reopen ng submission, that will be done the next day. Okay? Try to limit the hours that you contact me between 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. That I think that is a sufficient amount of time, no, for you not to contact me at night. Okay? Kasi wala kayong, although I do work during those hours, no, wag kayong mag-expect masyado na magre-reply ako. It's always best to contact me through LMS call, through the LMS forums, okay? And try to avoid or lessen your sending me direct message through LMS. Okay, hindi ako sumasagot sa ibang communication channels like Facebook, Messenger. Hindi ko kayo ah, sasagutin doon, no? You can also email me. Okay, make sure that you identify yourself when you are sending me a private message or when you are sending me an email. Okay, there are 5 classes under AR322. Kasama na doon yung CAD2L na old course, old curriculum, I mean. Okay, so it's hard for me to trace kung paano kayo tulungan. Okay, because there are 5 LMS classes. I don't want to play a guessing game. Kaya ko namang hanapin, no? But help me help you guys, no? So don't be entitled and you are not forced to be in this class if nahihirapan kayo. You can always drop this class, okay? And then I always encourage my students to work together. Work as a class. Kung meron kayong kailangan, consult your classmates, okay? Right now, I'm going to ask, okay, has everyone, ano pala, already answered the survey? Kindly raise your hand if hindi nyo pa nasasagutan yung survey. Okay. Bakit hindi nyo pa sinasagutan? Sagutan nyo na.
Sir, may
Yes.
may konting problem po ata sa LMS, sir.
Right now?
Sa portal po kasi officially enrolled po ako sa subject na AR3228296 na subject. Tapos po pero sa LMS po hindi po nag-reflect yung subject, sir.
Officially enrolled ka, so you have
Opo.
your registration form. Sige,
Opo, sir.
I think I can add you naman. Send me a message ngayon sa LMS para
Okay.
ako na yung mag-add sa'yo.
Thank you,
Any
sir.
other concern? Yung may isa pang nag-raise ng hand, hindi pa sumasagot na ang survey. Meron pa ba?
Ngayon pa po magsagot, sir.
Sagutan mo na ngayon, please.
Apo.
Important sa akin yan, no? So I can assess kung ano yung nangyayari sa class. This class is 8296. Okay. Sige, wait. Okay, currently there are 34 who answered, and there are how many people are in this class? Wala pa kasi yung 36. Okay, that excludes me. So I guess it's ano no. Sino yung kanina? Si Russell Villarreal? Tama ba?
Yes po, sir. Pati din po yung activity na ipapas po sana ngayon, sir. Hindi po din ako nakagawa, sir. Hindi
Sige,
ko pa nabasa yan.
just send me right now sa LMS para ma-address natin yan.
Okay, sir.
Paano ba mag-enroll? I think I can add manually dapat dito. Sige, I will ask the admin, no? Baka hindi ako yung pwede mag-add. Baka someone from the registrars can add you sa LMS, Miss Villarreal.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Don't worry about yung submission ng ano. As long as you have already noted naman yun, no? Sa yung case mo. Okay. What else? Sige, mag-move on tayo dito. Okay, for the grading system, because I have particularly set this up for this class only. Okay, your exams will cover 60%, no? That is 10% for exams 1 to 3, and then 30% for the final exam. And then for yung breakdown pala nila ito. Yan. So, 10% for the first 3 exams and then final exam, 30%. Your schemes, lahat na ipapadrawing ko manually and freehand, dito sila pumupunta sa 5%, the schemes. And then you have the plates, which is equivalent to 20%, research 15%. Now, pagdating sa pagka-handle ng class na to, because there are a lot of students, no? And I cannot. Hindi ko kaya mag-check na kung magbigay ako ng 5 plates times 100, 500 plates kaagad yan. Okay? So for this semester, for the whole semester, you will be focusing on creating 2 models, no? 3D models in parang magkaiba lang sila ng complexity. One will be a single floor, one floor, no? Na residential house, while the second one will be a 2-story residential house. Okay. Exam 1, I will be grading your SketchUp model. Exam 2 will be the documentation or the construction drawings for that specific model, yung ginawa ninyo sa exam 1. Okay, that will be 1 major plate. Okay? So exam 3, you will create another model, but this time your submission will be just the documentation. Okay? Yung construction drawings pa rin. And then for the final exam, I will be checking your model by your walkthrough or your animation that you will be doing. I will still open yung models ninyo for yung second model, for the SketchUp model, as I look into grading you in the final exam. Okay, but magpo-focus ako dun sa output ninyo for creating that animation walkthrough. Okay, and then, dahil dalawa lang yung plates ninyo, okay, i-distribute ko na lang din sila sa sa exams. So you need to submit all your exams in order to pass this subject, no? That is already equivalent to 80% of your grades, yung dalawang plates na yon. Is that clear? Do you have any objections with that?
None, sir.
Okay. Every time I post a tutorial video in LMS, there are follow-up questions. Sometimes they are essay questions that require very short answers, minsan multiple choice. Kindly answer those. Make sure that you answer those questions para lang maintindihan ninyo, no? Huwag nyo lang, it also indicates to me na pinanood niyo yung video and then you have tried it out on your respective SketchUp programs. Okay? Kasi nakakadagdag yun ng grade. Dito ko rin din sila pinapasok sa research and sa studies and schemes. Okay? To make sure na meron tayong, tumaas pa yung grade natin above 80%. Okay? Hindi naman assured na ipapasa ko kayo sa lahat ng exam, no? And I take all exams, yung, kunwari, isa lang yung model na ginawa natin, ba? So, we're just checking one design for exam 1 and exam 2. I grade based on the merits of exam 1. Kung yung SketchUp model mo sobrang maganda, bibigyan ko ng mataas na grade yun. But when you have created, when you submitted naman yung documentation, hindi mo ginamit yung mga proper symbols or kulang ka ng perspective, okay? Hindi, you can expect na magkaiba yung grades ninyo from exam 1 and exam 2. The same way na mag-iiba ang grade ninyo sa final exam and sa exam 3. Is that clear? Okay? Sige. So yan, in-emphasize lang natin, 80% of the grades will be coming from submitting your exam plates. Your submissions, okay, your Google Drive must be properly labeled and linked to my email account. Okay? And always use the prescribed file name and the file type. Now, make sure that yung PDF files ninyo, hindi sila sira, meaning nagsisend kayo ng broken file as an excuse na nag-submit kayo pero ako lang yung may problema. Make sure that your files can be opened in other devices. Okay? Now that I have mentioned this, wala nang excuse kung magsisend kayo sa akin ng file, ng PDF file na hindi ko mabuksan. Okay? And then make sure that your when it comes to SketchUp, make sure it is the SketchUp file that you are sending me or the one you are uploading in your Google Drive and not the backup file. Tignan nyo yung, tawag dito, yung last 3 letters, dapat SKP, it's not SKB. Okay, I can still open yung mga SKB files, which are the backup files of your SketchUp, but that will take some time, no? Parang may process pa para mabuksan ko yung backup file na yon. And giving me additional steps sa pag-check ng mga models ninyo will greatly affect on how I grade your models, no? Kasi isipin niyo yung mindset ko na parang I have to check 100 SketchUp models. Let's assume na nagpasa lahat. Tapos pinahirapan ako ng isang student para mabuksan lang yung file niya. Okay? Medyo mairita ako because I want na tuloy-tuloy ako mag-check. Okay? So, pag pinapatagal niyo yung airtime niyo sa oras ko, medyo may inis ako. Mga ganun lang naman yung natin. Okay? You will always want na nasa good mood ako pag nag-check ako ng plates ninyo para mataas ang grade. Pag happy ako, happy lahat. Ganun lang naman yun. Okay? So, pag nag-submit kayo sa LMS, usually, ang pinapa-screenshot ko is yung Google Drive kung saan naka-upload yung SketchUp model ninyo or yung PDF file. Pag PDF file, nagpa-sketch ako, nagpa-manual sketching ako, i-upload nyo lang yung as PDF file. I will check that directly on LMS. But sometimes when it comes to submitting yung actual SketchUp file, okay, I asked for the screenshot of the Google Drive, not the SketchUp program. Okay, hindi yung makikita ko yung bahay ninyo. Ang makikita ko dapat is yung mga folders and yung files ninyo na nandoon. Clear ba yon? I need a proof na nag-upload kayo, hindi yung proof na gumawa kayo. Kasi useless yung gumawa kayo, hindi nyo rin naman siya in-upload. Wala akong checkan, wala akong gigradean. Okay? So it's ganun yun. So unless stated otherwise, upload all PDF submission, including yung mga revisions. Kung nagpa-revise ako, just add the word revision. No? Isusulat ko naman yung file name kung paano nyo isusulat yung mga revisions ninyo. And then all SketchUp files na relevant to this subject na graded ko must be uploaded and do not upload unnecessary files. If you are still doing yung mga form finding sa SketchUp files na magulo, ganyan, huwag nyo i-upload yon. No? Pag nakita ko yon and then I mistake that as your submission, okay, yun yung gagradean ko. Okay? I hope that's clear. Okay, for the course outline, if you're going to look into your LMS as well as your self-instructed manual, unit learning objective A is just about learning the basics of SketchUp. ULO B will be using layout. ULO C will be the other advanced features where you will be looking into dynamic components and then creating walkthrough animations. Okay. So most of my lecture will be placed in ULO A, no? Okay. Hopefully malagay ko yun lahat doon. Okay. Do you have any questions so far sa mga pinagsasabi ko rito? I need verbal confirmation that you understood everything so far. Okay. From the people who are... Okay. Si Rosel lang yung nagsabi ng clear. How about the others? If you are not confident in
Understood,
speaking,
sir.
mag-type na lang kayo, okay? I-type niyo na lang sa chat para alam ko na naintindihan siya. Okay? Sige. So I've been talking about using SketchUp as part of your workflow. Okay. As I like to emphasize, no, SketchUp is just a tool for your into visualizing your or creating a visualization for your design. No, workflow in general, it is the collection of tools that the designer use, and the order in which they are used, no, to produce their final design. SketchUp is your basic program in producing visualization. When we say visualization, this is the design communication expressed in different medias. Each presentation type, stills, animations, virtual tours, virtual reality have their respective strengths and weaknesses, and they have the appropriate times kung kailan sila gagamitin. So it's not necessary that you will use them, no, in your actual practice when you graduate. Okay? Pero mabuti nang malaman natin yung basics pagdating sa paggamit ng SketchUp, because your attitude towards SketchUp will be reflected in how you will use a much advanced program when you go into practice. Okay. Okay, this is just showing how SketchUp and layout become part of the workflow. Okay. For example, you are already a practicing architect and you need to do a site analysis. You still need to do your survey, your context study, your aerial photography, and go to a site visit, and then you reflect all your research in a SketchUp, no? In a SketchUp program. You can use here yung dotted arrow here and a dotted box is using a 2D CAD program like the AutoCAD, or a 3D BIM program like Revit or ArchiCAD. And doon kayo pwede mag-proceed gumawa ng schematic design. Okay? You can still do hand sketches. No? You sketch first your 3D model, your perspective. Okay? And then you look into yung mga different laws, building laws that will affect your design. Okay? And you can present now your schematic presentation using SketchUp and layout. Okay, and so on. Design development, getting more accurate models. Okay, and especially pagdating sa construction documents. You can actually do away with using AutoCAD, no? Pagdating sa presentation ng or paggawa ninyo ng construction documents, because you can produce actually your drawings na in layout, no? Ang case lang kasi dito sa SketchUp, two separate programs ang modeling at saka yung pag-layout using layout program. Other programs like yung mga BIM, integrated na pareho lahat yan sa iisang program, no? Parang nag-3D model na kayo and then nakaproduce na rin kayo ng construction drawings. And anytime you try to change your design, it will be immediately reflected also in the construction drawing. So parang streamlined na yung process ninyo, hindi na siya redundant. Okay? You can still actually do that between SketchUp and layout, but there are steps that you will need to do. May mga extra steps na kailangan mangyari. So other types of programs, I'll just introduce them to you once you go out in the field kasi, or if you want to really to become tawag dito, yung mga nag-render na type of architects, because this yung visualization is a specialized track, no, pagdating sa architecture. Yung mga gumagawa ng mga 3D models and yung mga gumagawa ng mga high resolution renderings. Okay? BIM, this is a building information modeling. I'll be discussing this, I'll be discussing this a little further in the next few slides. 2D drafting. Okay, I believe everyone here has taken AutoCAD lessons from Sir Henrich. So ito lang yon, 3D modeling, which is SketchUp. And then you have three render engines and real-time render engines. Ito yung mga V-Ray na it's an engine, no? Na nilalagay lang siya sa whatever program you are using. Another 3D modeling program pala is yung 3D Max. Okay, that is kasama sa pamilya siya ng Autodesk. Okay? Yun, V-Ray, okay, mga Lumion, okay, mga Twinmotion, these are all part of the render engines and real-time render engines. Post-production, these are just yung mga enhancements na pwede nyo pang gamitin, like Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, or Adobe InDesign para sa presentation. And then there are other specialized programs na, like for example, there's a specialized program for doing an urban layout or for lighting designs. No? These are just the programs that will be used, no, in producing your design. Ito yung mga yun. Okay, so ito lang yung mga icons nila. This is ArchiCAD, this is Revit, Vectorworks, V-Ray, Photoshop, Illustrator. Okay, it can get overwhelming pag you try to learn everything, no? But simula tayo sa basics. You already have AutoCAD, and then you are now going to 3D SketchUp, to SketchUp. Eventually, may encounter nyo naman yan, yung mga Lumion, Twinmotion. I believe some of you have already tried using that, no? The more you practice, the more you will get better using these programs. But it is not necessary that you learn everything, no? You work with what works best for you. Okay? For example, pag you are really just concentrating on producing your design, it's best na matuto lang kayo ng BIM. Okay? Pero sa ngayon kasi, we're starting out, SketchUp would be fine. Rhino is parang may programming na pagdating sa design niyo, you're using some algorithms when you are producing those designs. Lumion, okay, these are more realistic renderings, depende na kung saan kayo magiging bihasa. For all the submissions in this subject, I want everyone to use only SketchUp, even when it comes to producing yung mga perspectives and yung animation. Okay, no other programs can be used. So para fair tayo, may equal playing field for all of my students. Okay? Again, emphasize namin to, there's no right or wrong way to produce a design. What I will be teaching here, no, is an ideal workflow using SketchUp and layout. Okay? Eventually, in your practice, baka hindi na siya maging relevant sa inyo. And that's fine, no? But how you will learn, how yung process ng learning nito, yung paggamit ng mga layers or yung tags, okay, organizing your model, you can carry this over when you are using mga BIM programs, even yung mga Photoshop, yung mga Adobe Illustrator, all of them, meron yung in one way or another, gumagamit yan ng mga layers. And you need to organize how you produce your design. Okay? So yun yung kailangan kong makita pag nagmo-model kayo. Magpapa-sketch ako sa papel. Okay? Doon ko titingnan yung design niyo. And then yung output ninyo, pag tumitingin na ako ng SketchUp model, I am actually just looking in how you organized your designs. No? I click and rotate. I click on yung mga scenes na ginagawa ninyo. Okay? And then I look into dun sa mga layout kung paano nyo ginamit yung mga scrapbook items doon. Okay. Ma-realize nyo rin naman kung ano yung mga pinagsasabi ko. Okay. A little bit about building information modeling. I am discussing this because SketchUp is already leaning towards becoming a building information modeling program. Okay, before, ano lang talaga siya? mm, paggawa ng ng 3D, no? Wala talaga siyang information. Parang dinagdo-drawing lang siya based on lines and planes, no? Using lines and planes. Ang BIM kasi kapag nag-drawing ka na ng rectangle, you have to already identify if it is a wall, if it is part of the ceiling, and then you can already extract a lot of information, no? You can get the number of hollow blocks to construct that wall. You can get the price of each hollow block, and then you can already compute how much constructing that wall will cost. Okay, so may mga ganun, yun yung basic idea of BIM, no? Building of information models can be extracted, exchanged, or networked to support decision making regarding a built asset. Okay. Building information modeling, nasa visualization lang tayo when it comes to conceptual design and having detailed design. Now, you can do some analysis already in SketchUp kasi meron naman yung araw, ganyan. So, pero hindi niya sa BIM, pwede niyo pang malaman yung heat absorption ng mga materials, no? The most you can do right now with SketchUp is yung shadow analysis. Okay? You can already see kung ano yung mga sun shading na kailangan for different parts of the day. Okay? And you can also go into documentation with layout nga. Sign ko lang to. An intelligent 3D model-based process that gives architecture, engineering, and construction professionals the insight and tools to more efficiently plan, design, construct, and manage buildings and infrastructure. Now, yung fabrication, ayun, yung sinabi ko kanina, you can already, pag gumamit tayo kasi ng BIM program, you can already set kung anong klaseng material or you can customize what type of material will be used for each step in the construction. No? Pag sinabi natin 4D and 5D here, no, we are talking about yung time element and yung budget constraints pagdating sa construction. If you are going to have a design that is built in phases, you can already get that information kung gaano katagal i-construct ang isang bagay and magkano dito sa 4D and 5D. Okay? Pati na rin dun sa construction logistics. Okay? Operation and maintenance, these are the latter part after the construction or what we also call post-construction process, kung paano na lang siya i-maintain under BIM. Okay, ito lang din yun. So nandito tayo sa 2D and 3D. Eventually, when you are going to use BIM, you can have your schedule of construction and the budget, how it affects, how they are affected. No? And then yung 60 to 80, these are just mga post-construction like facilities management, sustainability, how sustainable the building is. You can have an analysis. And then occupational and safety hazard. Occupational safety and health when it comes to the users of that design, of that building. No? Ma-extract na yung information regarding those things. Okay. So here, okay, I emphasize here yung workflow pagdating dito sa subject na to. So we have already started yung file and folder management. No? I always require a naming standards. I believe some of you are my older students, have been under me. So alam niyo na meron akong strict naming standards. Okay, yung use of acronyms, just in my own practice, no, as a freelance architect, I have to organize my projects. I usually use 3-letter acronym for my projects. For example, my project is a residential house in Davao. Okay, under the, with my client name Bayagas. Yun yung surname niya. So I will make a system na ako lang yung makakaintindi, no? BRD for the surname Bayagas and then residential in Davao. That's how I organize. And then if I were able to commissioned that project in 2019, I will write BRD 2019. And if it's let's say the 11th project I have obtained in that year, BRD 2019-2019-011. Okay? That is how, and then kung ano na yung, kung kailan ko siya huling ginalaw. Okay, that is why I use yung system ko na YYMMDD. Okay? Kasi kapag nagbago ako ng date, at least na update din kung kailan siya huling ginalaw. Okay? Nag-move up siya sa file names. Okay? Kaya ganun ako magpa-file name. And then yung project folders, kumari, yun nga, may project ako na BRD, all of the files there will be placed under that folder only. And then we use, I also sometimes use cloud storage as a backup and to lessen the clutter in my hard drive. Ina-apply ko na to sa inyo, no? As you have noticed, dun sa paggawa lang ng Google Drive folder. We are using a cloud storage. I ask you to create your folder with your surname. Okay, and then yung use of acronyms. Well, I am organizing you guys based on your class code. No, some of you. So it's important that you always include your class code. Okay? And then yung naming standards, I always post them in LMS kung anong klaseng name. Every time you upload, okay, yung YYMMDD, place the date kung kailan kayo nag-upload. It's not necessarily the date of the deadline, no? Because sometimes late kayo magpasa. Isulat nyo, no? Be honest. Nakikita rin naman yan sa Google Drive kung kailan kayo nag-upload, no? Makikita nyo yung activity ng file sa tabi, sa right side ng Google Drive. Okay? So, just be honest with how you are uploading or submitting your plates. Any questions so far? Okay, submission of plates, ayan Wait lang, let me check.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Adrian?
Sir, mag-ask lang sana ako, sir, ba included pala sa subject ang rendering, sir?
Included sa?
On this subject ang rendering po?
No. I will not be teaching rendering here.
Yes, sir.
I will be teaching kung paano gumawa ng walkthrough because yun yung usually ginagamit din sa thesis, no?
Yes,
Rendering kasi hindi even ang playing field natin dito. Okay, not everyone can I don't think yung system requirements of everyone will be up to par para magkaroon kayo ng rendering portion of this course. Okay, kaya ako siya tinanggal sa syllabus.
Okay, sir. Yeah, you mentioned kasi earlier, sir, na lahat ng renderings needed to be in SketchUp.
Yes. Yun din yung ko. So, walang gagamit ng Loom yun. Okay? Walang gagamit ng V-Ray for my class. Understood? Okay. Pwede nyo naman pagandahin yung presentation nyo using SketchUp only and layout. Okay? Okay, final reminders. You can actually develop your own system, no? Pwede nyo i-disregard lahat ng sinabi ko today. Do what is best for you, no? Pero pag submit ninyo, do what's best for me. Okay? Para mabigyan ko kayo ng magandang grade. Okay? Yung tulungan, kasi masyado ka nga, ayun nga, in-emphasize ko na marami kayo, no? Na marami akong checkan. If mahihirapan akong mag-check ng, isipin nyo yan lagi, pag magpapasa na kayo, mahirapan ba si Sir Dodd sa pag-check nito? Mababad trip ba siya? Ganyan, pag tinignan niya to. Okay? Sabihin nyo, i-filter nyo na yung sarili ninyo, no? Kasi baka, mag-engage nyo naman kung anong grade na, okay, yung mabibigay ko sa inyo. Yung kulang-kulang, di malinis, ganyan. Okay? And then always back up your files. Save your work constantly and then back up your files. Kaya nga tayo may Google Drive, no? Make sure na hindi ayoko kasi naging excuse yung nagbe-breakdown yung unit ninyo, yung PC or yung laptop. Okay? Make sure na sinesave nyo siya sa external hard drive or kahit isang flash drive lang, no? For this subject. And always upload them in Google Drive. Kung automatic dapat yun after nyo nagde-design, before you shut down your PC, i-upload nyo yung pinaka latest version ninyo. Okay, hindi sa Google Drive kung saan ako magche-check, but sa ninyo, no? Utilize nyo yung Google Drive ninyo in your own academic endeavors. Okay. Any more questions, clarifications, concerns? May question ako. For today, kasi I am meeting each class, no? For AR322 and RCAD2L. Nagsimula na ako nung 8 o'clock. But this is not healthy for me to have 5 classes na pare-parehas lang sinasabi ko every time. Okay, so I am planning, once we have already established paano mag-MS Teams, kasi yun, they can handle around 300 students or 300 participants at a time, no? Maganda siguro kung okay lang sa inyo na isang time lang kayong lahat. Free ba kayo ng 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock every day?
Yes po, sir. Pero sa iba, sir.
Okay. Sino yung may concern?
Afternoon, sir.
8 o'clock ng morning. Kindly raise your hand if you will not be able to attend that 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock because you have another class. Hindi yun dahil hindi kayo magigising. Okay. Sige. I will for next week I will be talking also with the next classes because this is the second class na for this course. Okay, I will also ask, syempre, kung hindi naman mag-okay yung sa iba, di magsiset din ako ng different time for them. But I'm hoping na okay lang sa inyo na morning at least. And from my previous delivery of this class, once a week lang ako nag-lecture. Okay, because I believe also that you should spend your time, yung time na binigay na to, na nag-design kayo or doing something in your program. Okay? Hindi ako matakaw sa oras, hindi ako nag-a-attendance. Mas gusto kong makita yung output ninyo at the end of the day. Okay? But for next week, okay, medyo magbabago lang. Magta-trial and error pa tayo pagdating sa paggamit ng MS Teams. Yun lang yung hina-heads up ko rin sa inyo. Once we got the groove of using that program, I think we will be okay for the rest of the SEM. Okay? Yung mga hindi nagre-react, I hope okay lang sa inyo, no? 8 o'clock. I will not be checking attendance. I will be uploading yung recording ng session na yon at least before the end of the day. Kasi at least morning siya naganap. I can post it already agad, no? Within the day. Okay? And that would free up your time in concentrating in producing your 3D models or in producing your design. Okay? Sige. Okay, with that, I will be posting yung design brief for your first plate. Okay? And then, my first plate, manual sketch, walang gagamit ng straight edge ruler. Okay? Kasi I mean, you are already at a higher level ng design students, no? Kahit hindi pa kayo diretso, sige, tinatanggap ko na, baka iba sa inyo, hirap mag-drawing ng straight line without any ruler. I-try nyo pa rin, no? Huwag kayong gumamit. I-do your best, no? Mag-express ng design ng walang ginagamit na ruler. Okay? Yung mga nakikita nyo sa Pinterest na sketches, ganun. Ganun yung hinahanap ko. Okay? Sige. If there are no more questions or concerns, I'll be ending this session now. I thank you guys for coming in. Ipopost ko na lang tong PowerPoint pero wala tayong recording for today. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po,
Yes,
sir.
Michelle?
Thank you, sir.
Sir, nag-message na ko sa mga sa LMS, sir, ha? Thank you. Daan.
Okay, sige.